All right, hi third graders. So we are back to our day 3 of our opinion writing. So remember that we read some articles about homework, and we decided on what our opinion is about homework. Either it's helpful or it's not helpful. And we focused on figuring out what are our reasons to support that? So we needed to come up with some good reasons to support whether we think homework is good or whether we think homework is not so good. And then we have been working on our writing. Now, I forgot to mention yesterday that the page in your Google Slides that you're supposed to be doing your typing looks like this. Okay, so when you're ready to type, you can go ahead and type it on here. Remember, this is kind of what I'm going to see with your writing. So make sure that you do that. But I know that sometimes it's just easier to get a piece of paper and just write stuff down. So that's totally fine too. If you feel more comfortable doing it that way and then doing the typing later, you can do that. I'm doing mine on my big poster paper so that you can see it as I go. And so what I would do is after I finish doing all my writing, I'll go back into my computer and I'll type it all out. And then I would have it on this, but in my Google Slides. Okay? All right, so boys and girls, yesterday we had done our first 2 paragraphs. And remember, our first 2 paragraphs, our first one is our introduction paragraph, where we hook our reader and we state our opinion. And then the second one, we started with our first reason. And we gave that reason and we gave a little bit of details to help support our reason. So what I always like to do when I come back to my writing is I always like to come back and I read it. I read my writing so many times as I'm working on it. And that way I can really tell how it's flowing, if I forgot to put a word in or if something just doesn't make sense. So make sure that you read your writing a lot. And also try to make sure you're reading the words that are actually on the paper, because sometimes we read things and it's not really what we wrote. Okay, so I've got, what do you think about homework? In my opinion, homework is good if it's not too much and if it's quality homework. To begin with, homework is especially helpful when it's spent practicing reading and math facts. Working on reading books and learning your math facts can help you do better in school, and it's easy to do by yourself. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. It sounds pretty good. So now what I want to do is I want to take a look at my second reason, and I'm going to start with that part for my next paragraph. So my second reason was that some homework can help raise test scores. And I remember when I was reading the article that it said that some homework, but not a lot. Remember, it told us that if you have to do too much homework, then a lot of times your test scores actually go down. So I'm going to try to talk about that when I put my next reason. Now, my transition words that I said that I wanted to use, or my linking words, were in addition. So I'm going to start my next paragraph with that in addition. Okay? So I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, so now remember, this is a new paragraph. So wherever I ended, I'm going to go to the next line and I'm going to indent. Now, when you're doing it on your computer, you're going to, when you finish that word and you put your paragraph, or your period, you're going to push enter or return. Okay, and that's going to take you to the next line. And then what's going to help you indent is if you click on tab, or you could just do some spaces. But tab automatically jumps you over a couple spaces so that it makes an indent for you. So, okay, so I'm going to start with in addition. Okay, so in addition, let me think. I'm going to say, in addition, doing homework can help raise test scores. Now, I really want to make sure that I point out that doing too much homework is not good, and that actually makes test scores go down. So let me think about this. So I have, in addition, doing homework can help raise test scores. Now, I think what I want to say is that say, and you know what? I'm going to go back to that article where it talked about that. So I'm looking at this one right here to kind of help remind me. It said, in one study, fourth grade students who spent less than an hour per night on homework did better on reading tests. Their classmates who studied longer had lower test scores. In another study, older students who studied more than 90 to 100 minutes per night had lower math and science scores. Okay, so I could say something like, doing too much homework has been proven to lower test scores, so teachers have to be careful about how much homework they assign. I like that. Okay, so doing too much homework has been shown to cause lower test scores. So teachers need to be careful to not assign too much homework. Ooh, that was a long one, wasn't it? Okay, so I've got, in addition, doing homework can help raise test scores. Doing too much homework has been shown to cause lower test scores. So teachers need to be careful to not assign too much homework. Okay, I think that sounds good. Now, I am ready to work on my next paragraph. So my next paragraph is going to be that last reason that I have here. So my linking word, I said I was going to use finally. And I also wanted to talk about how homework should be 10 minutes per grade level. Okay? So let me think here. So I want to use the word finally. And I'm going to talk about how homework should be 10 minutes per grade level. All right, I'm going to bring my paper up a little bit so you can see it better. I know you won't be able to see the beginning very well, but that's okay for right now. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to start with finally. So remember, this is a new paragraph. I'm going to go down to the next line. I'm going to indent, and I'm going to write the word finally. Okay, so finally, I know. I want to say finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. That's what I'll do, because then in the next sentence, I'm going to explain what those guidelines are. Okay? So finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. Okay? So then what I want to talk about is those guidelines. And I remember, and I'm looking back in my article, it says that experts set a homework guideline of 10 minutes per grade level. Okay, so I'm going to use that word experts because that's what the article said too, right? It was experts who said this. So finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. So I'm going to say experts say, and you know what? I have to be really careful. I can't just copy a sentence right out of that article. I have to put this in my own words. If I wanted to copy it, I would need to do quotation marks, and that's something we'll do later, but let's focus on trying to make this into our own words, okay? So finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. Experts say students should have 10 minutes per grade level. Oops, sorry, that was a little mistake. Grade level of homework. Okay, so finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. Experts say students should have 10 minutes per grade level of homework. So I might even add, so third graders should have 30 minutes of homework. I'm excited because I'm almost ready for my conclusion. But before I get to my conclusion, I want to read my whole essay to see how it's sounding. Okay, so I'm going to go to the top. So here's what I've got. What do you think about homework? In my opinion, homework is good if it's not too much and if it's quality homework. To begin with, homework is especially helpful when it's spent practicing reading and math facts. Working on reading books and learning your math facts can help you do better in school, and it's easy to do by yourself. In addition, doing homework can help raise test scores. Doing too much homework has been shown to cause lower test scores, so teachers need to be careful to not assign too much homework. Finally, homework is helpful if teachers follow time guidelines. Experts say students should have 10 minutes per grade level of homework. So third graders should have 30 minutes of homework. What do you guys think? I think it sounds pretty good, don't you think? So now I have my introduction paragraph. I stated my opinion. I have 3 really good paragraphs giving my reasons and some details about my reasons, some examples. My last paragraph is my conclusion. And the conclusion paragraph is really easy. You basically are going to restate your opinion, okay? And when I restate my opinion, I like to use some linking words. Words like, as you can see, or in conclusion, okay? Or it could be for these reasons. So there's lots of different linking words that we can use with our writing to kind of wrap it up. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my opinion, and my opinion was that homework is good if it's not too much and if it's quality homework. So, okay, let me think. I'm going to use, I'll use as you can see. So that'll be how I show my reader that I'm at the end of my writing, okay? So I'm going to say, now remember, again, this is a new paragraph. This is where I ended. I'm going to go to the next line. I'm going to indent, okay? So I'm going to say, as you can see. Okay? And then I'm going to restate my opinion. I'm not going to copy exactly what I said up there. I'm going to say it a little bit differently. So let me think here. So as you can see, homework can be helpful if teachers don't assign too much and if it helps the student learn. Does that sound okay? Let me get it done. I can always change it if I want to. So as you can see, homework can be helpful if it's not too much and if it helps the student learn. Okay. So as you can see, homework can be helpful if it's not too much and if it helps the student learn. That sounds pretty good. Guess what? I'm pretty much done. Yeah? So what I would want to do then is I would want to read through and see if there's anything I need to fix or anything that doesn't quite make sense, anything that doesn't flow too well. But other than that, I'm pretty much done with my writing, and I'm pretty excited because I think I just wrote a really good opinion piece on why we should keep having homework. I can't wait to read your opinions and see what you guys think about whether homework is good or whether homework is bad. And who knows, maybe you might change my mind. All right, boys and girls. So today I want you to go ahead and work on those last 3 paragraphs of your writing. Remember that if you have been just writing on a piece of paper, that in order for me to be able to read it, you're going to have to type it. So go ahead and type it in on this page on the Google Slides presentation. All right. And let's try to make sure that we do things like we start letters with capitals, we start sentences with capital letters, we end with periods. We try our best to spell words correctly. It's really easy to click on the spell check to see if you need some help with spelling. But let's make this a really good article, and I cannot wait to read what you've written. All right, boys and girls, really good job with your writing. I'll see you later.